and welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Humankind on Civilization difficulty. And as Twitch chat said during the break, what we need more is we need more fame. More and more fame. We're apparently actually getting further behind the lead. We're now 4K behind the lead, so we need more fame. Actually, we'll pop to the stars here. Right, so we definitely got some more stars we can pick up. We can definitely pick up another 12 buildings or districts pretty quickly to get the builder star. Expansionist is maybe a little tempting, although we can probably procrastinate to that next era. More people isn't necessarily very hard, and then more text is definitely not very hard. These are all going to reset on the next era, so there's maybe an argument to not try to pick them up more if we hit the 3-star, right? So if we hit 3-star science, there's an argument trying not to do science at that point. Same sort of thing with the Grain stars. Yeah. And then we were the Mississippians. In the next era, we have more choices. No one has picked anything yet. If we wanted to do militarist, we could do something like the Buccaneers, Gunners, and Spotter, and Sloop. We're doing something like a naval invasion. Plus 2% food, industry, money, science, and plus 2 combat strength on outlaw. If we're poaching resources. So if we want to go be pirates, Caribbean pirates are good for that. Dutch is money. And we've been doing a bunch of harbors, which we could definitely have done in this run. We decided to go with rivers instead. The Dutch would have been good for rivers. Food on exploitation. So if we want to go back to food as our centric theme, we could definitely do that. With the Adonswane. Probably pronouncing that wrong. Joseon here, which is science, plus 3 science on tile producing science. Although that's actually pretty... Tile producing science is pretty rare. Unless you built research districts. They are a science-centric one, with influence and science is their... or with influence on research quarter. So this would probably be a research quarter actually worth trying to build. Well, it's not that much stronger than normal research quarter. Research quarters aren't... because research is so strong in the game. Research quarters themselves aren't particularly great. The Ming, if we want to be bundling around with our civics a bit more, the Ming would be a way to go. Purely aesthetics. Mongols for industry, plus 2% industry per number of territories in your sphere of influence on capital. Although this is only on the capital, so that's maybe a little less strong. Another builder civ. Industry per worker, where per district. And this is again another religious makers quarter. Industry per adjacent makers quarters. Got the Ottomans. Make the heavy weapons real cheap. Plus 3 combat strength on heavy weapons. If we're going to go expansionist, if we're going to try to expand to the other continent, this would not be a bad choice. Poles, militarist, if we just wanted to fight, not necessarily go conquer. Poles would not be bad. You got a garrison commons quarter combo, which is not a bad combo. Spanish, again, another expansionist civ. Conquistadors. Generals release money from winning battles and ransacking. We get money for fighting. Religious Commons Quarter. Edo Japan. Aesthetic Star, so a bunch of influence here. Venetians. Money influence. I'm supposed from an industry standpoint, there aren't any really good industry ones. This is probably the best on the industry ones. We just wanted more industry. Unsupplied units. Don't know what's classified as unsupplied, technically speaking. The Spanish bonus here is the one that would be contemplating how. Was that that might be if you don't have the metal or the gunpowder or whatever for the supplies for the unit. Okay. So I don't think we want to do money. I think we're looking probably at industry is tempting, although we've only got one choice for industry. Science isn't too bad if we want to try getting science. Well, that's kind of just to push the air faster. Might be that we go money. Less one money per pop in all cities. It wouldn't be too bad. Although that's a harbor, so Dutch is probably not what we want to do. For trade route, we're not going to let a trade routes. Yeah, I'm thinking we're going to end up on the Mongols. Mongols. But we're probably going to... We're definitely thinking of delaying the era here. Might want to run the next era, the early modern era, as a quick era. So, yeah. I think we're going to get all the science stars before we era up, unless other civs start going up. And then we may take it a little bit early. And we'll try to also pick up the Elastic Grain and Builder Star before we go up, at least. Remind me later.
At the catch. Blade stick. Acknowledged. Ready all, row.
Don't think it's over yet. What about the seabed and the stars?
What? How did...
Zeus has been incarnated in a magnificent statue by somebody else.
Okay, so I think we just discovered the world by discovering the last undiscovered land tile. I've just discovered like an island. What do you mean I discovered half the world? I didn't realize that we're sharing maps with this guy, and this guy's apparently got the map of the other continent. Fair enough. Didn't realize that was the case. And I think I discovered like this guy had not explored this little island chain down here, so we just explored the last island chain. That's what's going on. That's what's confusing me. In fact, let's make sure that we were actually the ones who got that one. Show deed. Everyone has mapped this, and apparently I think we all mapped at the same time, so we actually all shared that one. We got Yellowstone. Oh, yeah, and we all got this one as well. Because we must have all got it at the same time. I think our ally is sharing maps with both of us. So, everyone I think got that one at the same time. Or it's one that everyone can get, whichever way you split that difference. Okay, we have impending stability problems here, and we're going to want another job in 2 turns, but let's fix the stability first. So that's +8 to stability. That's +15. So that's going to get us back up in the stable range, although I definitely don't want to be building... Yeah, I might have to be accepting that we're going to have more people in jobs. Okay. Good wall up, but again, I don't think we need the walls. +5 per neighbor, so we get a 5 over there. Okay, that's not very good. That's almost just building garrison out in the boondocks for defensive purposes. Okay, we'll build that. We'll see how the stability is looking. I may be forced to either build garrisons or quarters anyway. Commons quarters. For some stability in the camp. Or Actually, what we'll need to build is probably Wonder. Or it'll probably be almost the gods.
Ready all, row.
So in the long run, if I actually want access to everything, I probably actually need to put the city here. Although that's just prairie tiles. That's not a. I wouldn't be kicking myself if we lost the access to those tiles. Initial industry or initial food. Oh, initial industry, which means we want to go there.
Ready all, row.
You're stable, you're only like 92% stable. Well, that's... Oh, we can get some plus 10 stabilities here, so... We'll take a plus 10. It's not too bad. Okay. Population gained, karma... Army lost at sea, yeah, we were expecting that. We got furnace steel, which notably has high furnace here, which has access to iron. And it's industry on our maker's quarters, which in theory we've got a decent number of those kicking around now. Got another science star as well. So 3 more techs to get the last science star, 20 more people to get the next agrarian star, 6 more districts for the builder star.
Will do. Yeah. Look out on the main map.
Oh, 19 industry, we'll definitely do that. That'll pay itself back pretty quickly. Maybe do even more to buff it up to 23 there. It's not bad, we'll do that as a follow-up. Yeah, you should now be stable. Our best industry is 28. Best food is over at 22, although we don't necessarily... We're getting one every 3. And everything 3 is probably good enough. Yeah, we'll do probably the next industry. And then you're actually not that good, because we don't have a lot of industry ones. But we'll do you next. We're not getting access here, because we don't have iron deposits in that zone area.
Whatever you intend to produce, with 15 makers' quarters, I guarantee there will be a lot of it.
That be the goal, right? Produce a lot.
Tell me.
You want a cultural
Shall we become closer?
exchange? Okay.
Yes, I
Accept.
cannot dispute the benefit in that.
Perfect. Days like this, I'm glad to be alive.
I have a proposition for you. I think you'll like it.
Keeping watch.
Okay. Yeah, I want to claim this. Influence cost is fairly trivial, so that's not a problem. Oh, and then that zone can very quickly grab the artisanal products using my influence. Considerable influence.
As feudal structures prove practical for both farming
Farming and
and
warfare.
warfare, certain codes and practices arise that, ideally, ensure a fair and honourable society.
So that's chivalry. Housing construction of new districts on adjacent tiles. Also, it's just +1, +1, +1, +1 worker slot, which isn't too bad. That might actually be good in some of our cities where we've got a shortage of slots. Encourage that wonder to get done, and we can pick the next wonder. Could do a hamlet. That would be one way to get enough jobs. Oh, do that for civilian. Yeah, let's do that, and then we'll do the hamlet. And this is exploitation, right? So it's the neighboring bonuses. That's kicking it. In fact, actually, let's just buy the aqueduct, so that stabilizes it. And we'll work on the hamlet, which is going to take 2 turns to complete. Battle for the Mine! The great city is bustling at the seams. Countless souls pressed within the city's tight borders. In the dense, squalid quarters, cases of madness are on the rise. Religious leaders contend that demonic forces are behind the affliction, while the philosophers argue for natural causes. Both are strong voices in the Empire with competing solutions. What is your response? Study, pray, judge. So we're going to move away from the extremeness of our traditionalism and get some science in the short run. So I think what we'll do. Oh, no, I'm at the point where I need to think what we're going to research left, right? So we want 2 more sciences. So what 2 sciences from the current era do we want? We may need guilds. Okay, so if I want 3-mast ship for settlers and caravels, I'm almost certainly need seafaring mastery. I might not need guilds, because I have Furnace Steel and Chivalry. Although, commodity market would not be bad. And I might not need military architecture because I have Furnace Steel. I'm not sure if I need every one of the prerequisites or one. So I don't know if this is a line that says you need both of these to pick this up or just one of those to pick that up. Sometimes it's a either or situation that goes on as well. Whereas 3-mast has one prerequisite, which is seafaring. So we know we need seafaring. And we probably want gunpowder fairly early on. From an eco standpoint, the next era doesn't... Well, unless we get to the manufactory. Doesn't seem like it has a lot of good eco buildings in it. Although, science is not bad. Yeah, science is definitely not bad. luxury, manufactory. Okay. So if we have the, I think if we have the majority of luxury, we can build a manufactory here for a fame reward once per resource. Okay, we're gonna do seafaring. We're gonna do seafaring to military. Don't necessarily need military. But if there's one where we know or I suspect we need an either or, it's probably centralized power. Because we've got 3 leading into it. And then when both those are done, we're going to be thinking a little bit more about airing up, because we'll have the science star. So really, it's just, can we get another 16 people in however long it takes to take 2 science techs?
A wondrous work indeed. No doubt the neighbors are eyeing you with a great deal of jealousy.
Well, one thing that wonder gives us an advantage on is counter-espionage, so that's good. I apparently need more influence to grab the next wonder. This was obviously going to be the next wonder. We'll see if we can pick that up. Well, actually, it looks like we aren't going to be able to pick that up for the next era. Okay, you're stable. We grow every 2, so we definitely don't need you to build more food. Could go for more industry. It's access to horses, so that'd actually be 2 more access. I'll grab that quickly. It's a little more expensive because we're short on iron, although veterans available for militia and experience on creating units that use iron is not a bad plan. Even if it's a little bit more expensive, we'll pick you up. So it's actually, we don't upgrade this twice, right? So we want to do that. And that, and then probably want to do the tourney technically between those 2, but maybe looking at more food here. Oh, and you could use another job. Best source for another job right now is probably actually a hamlet. Where do you pick a good hamlet being? 2017 isn't too bad. Yeah, we'll hamlet down there. And I'm thinking we're going to want to dock in this area at some point. So where would you want to dock? Up there? Not bad. We're at post research, so we're 3 turns out for having all the research done we want. Oh, and they're doing a really good job of staying ahead. And they have aired up. Okay. What did they pick? They picked the Caribbean Pirates. Okay. This might not be the era with which to do naval warfare against them. It's 14 more industry. Let's do more access to horses. There's actually 2 more food, global. And we'll pay that even though it's a little bit expensive. A little bit more expensive than normal. Yeah, I don't think we're getting 14 people in 3 turns. Because what, we're doing like 3 people per city? We got 4 cities, so... There's every other turn, so... Even if we say we got 2 per city, it'd be 8. No, that's not 14. So we're just going to be picking up the Science Star for 3 turns. And we're going to up era. Oh, apparently we got someone going trade here. We'll go ahead and pick this up. Let's do some unit upgrades, I'm thinking about. Oops, mean to move you. I meant to select off the unit.
I think things could improve.
Sure.
Your
We definitely
proposal
want to trade
makes
with
good
you.
sense. I say yes.
It is a rare day that I am this pleased with things.
Okay, let's save up some more money before we do more trading.
You have unlocked seafaring. To safely travel the dangerous, hungry oceans. You can cause trouble anywhere you want now, and have a better chance of getting away with it.
Oh, I needed foreign outposts for seafaring. I was like, I've got one more tech to do. Apparently not. Okay. So yeah, if we're going up for the next era, we've got all the science stars, got all the builder stars. The agrarian stars, probably not worth the wait. It's not worth the squeeze. Could probably grab that last expansion star right now, or we could grab it in the next era, effectively. We basically got one more expansion star without fighting. So let's go ahead and grab our culture for the next era, which is, I think we're going to go for that industry one. Going for the Mongols.
On the lookout.
We're going to go over one turn. Let's run one single turn of festivals in the places we'll finish in a turn. Unless we got infrastructure buildings to build. Main plaza there. More access to iron, so we'll be less dependent on foreign sources of it. More access to horses. This will actually be cheaper by the time we get to it. A watery grave. The great coastal city sends fishing crews far up down the surrounding coastline. Now, one of the new crews has made a startling discovery, a wreckage of an ancient galley laying well preserved in the shallow waters. After brief scouting, an experienced diver offers to explore with their gang and promises fixed pay off for the Empire. The one on the expedition isn't for the inexperienced. What's your choice? We can protect it for faith, we can mobilize the military, do it ourselves, or we can get a one-off payment for being commercial. Towards individualism. Homeland. We'll stick the fave. Yeah, I want to hit end turn here. We are going to get the era cinematic, so I'm right here while that goes.
Geography, cartography, algebra, optics, astronomy. It's a time of discovery and exploration. But discoveries are not made solely by traders and adventurers. Those who explore with ships and caravans would go in circles without those who explore with pens and parchment. So, did you choose them for their impressive constructions? I bet it was the elephants with cannons.
No, it was the impressive constructions. And we've only just entered the era and plus 1 era star, because that's how we roll. Yeah, we entered the era and we get 1 era star just for entering the era. Cool. And then we're going to attach you, unless you found a resource, no, to the capital. Which actually gets us the 2nd era star, so we're only just barely in the era and 2 stars already. Okay, so I don't need military architecture. Okay, totally delay that. So we want to upgrade the naval transport. That's what we do. Let's grab gunpowder so we can know if we have gunpowder, or activate gunpowder if we have it. Taxation office will be tempting. Grab pretty early. Food per farmer. We're usually trying to rely on the base food from the districts. That isn't the case with the industry, so we probably would run to mercantilism. So we'll do like gunpowder, centralized power, mercantilism. Probably into humanism, movable type. Or do I want to do movable type earlier? Could do movable type as the second one. The movable type is the science boosts. Yeah, that's going to be pretty strong for the science per researcher. And then centralized power, mercantilism, humanism, and then well, we might go for the unique unit and just fishing for text at that point to get the science stars. Okay. Okay, we've got our stability here. Let's grab our religious makers quarter, where it makes sense. We're getting 65 one there. Yep, definitely there. Where's the next best one? We get a 55 over there. That's great. We get a 53 over there. What's our 54% surplus? Yeah, we can build a couple of these. No drawbacks. And there. And you're expecting there, okay. And then the next best one is there. Okay, so there's the 5. We're gonna build a 5 of those. Just get industry real fast. For you. Probably similar sort of thing here, although we're less over. In fact, we got no surplus here. But really we want to stay over 70, so this will drop us to like 80 and that'll be fine. Wave turn. Okay. And then for wonders, we're in the 4th era. So we could still pick up the Angkor Wat, or we could grab something from the 5th era. Ooh, that would be real good. 100% protection towards shared products would be real good for, like, in Wonder Spam, which is probably what we're trying to do. All your other cities gain 50% of the food, or food equal to 50% of the food produced by that city. Okay. Ooh, and that's just fame per culture wonder. Gonna be a good toss-up between that one and that one for the next one, I think. Which is at 345 influence. Okay, probably going to want more stability here in the long run. In the short run, however, industry is strong. 56 industry, 40 industry. That's less strong. And yeah, more than that, we're going to start having stability problems, so I need to grab one that's going to grab some stability. Five just feels weak. Especially because we can get garrisons, they're going to give 10. Yeah, we'll do something like that for the next 3 buildings there. Oh, you've got pending
I think
something.
only of my people. Remember that.
I can see
Give up
the
on that
bigger
for the moment.
picture. Let us no longer speak of this.
That's hot air. Nothing more, nothing less.
Quickly pick up what trade we can.
Let us formalize our mutual appreciation.
You are as just as...
Here we go. Not a particularly great city, but we can have it now, so we'll take it. And we have the government camp for that, so there's definitely no major opposition to that. Monoculturalism is probably the more effective one here if we were to grab one of those. And I don't have enough market quarters and or communal quarters for whatever that policy is. Oh, of course, we inherited some army, which we should actually merge up. We're wealthy enough, we probably do want to upgrade that army. There we go. Let's make it a little bit more intimidating for defense purposes. Ah, we picked up cultural blessings because we now have that city. Okay. As an option. I think we're gonna try to save up the influence here for the next wonder. We've built all the districts. Surprised those buildings were just built. Okay, they count as Maker's quarters, but they don't give industry jobs. Although they make all the industry jobs better, so we just built 5 of them, so all the industry jobs producing 5 more industry is just real strong. Do I want more food? We're getting 1 every 3. I think that's quick enough. I'm actually really questioning what we want to build here. So as we can look at what a food district. So the best food district's 35 food. We don't have saltpeter yet. That's 1 turn out. So arguably that's what we're waiting for. We need to spend a turn. Get the next thing we want to build in the city. 32 industry for industrial quarter. You know, let's do that farm. Yeah, your stability point's going down to 86. So if we want to keep growing you, we're probably looking for stability. So we can get 5s on you, which isn't particularly great. Or I can do a garrison, which will upgrade to be a 10. So let's do a garrison. We put a garrison on sort of the border way down there. Be a bad place for that. Okay, I'd like to do the Aaron ones. Start with some of those. Start with 2 of those. At which point we're going to need more stability if we're going to keep growing. We don't have it in infrastructure, so it's going to have to either come from a quarters, which we can get 5 from, or garrison, which will provide 10 with the logistics building. Okay.
Your people see it as a place of safety and a symbol of power. Only your friends know of the extensive wine cellar.
Extensive wine cellar. Gunpowder or for researched. Okay. So, you have a saltpeter deposit. Which takes you exactly 1/3 to build. That's not going to take very long. You don't have a saltpeter deposit to work on. Resting is 88. So that means I can probably go 1 more view. Can also do the +5 on garrison there. So those bring it down to... So, +5, -10. And where's the next best spot for you? Oh, no, because we only got 3 zones here. Oh, no, actually, it's down here. Yeah, it's down there. Okay. 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 And then you're stable at 91. We built you for garrisoning. Let's grab you for an extra 5. Yeah, the obelisks are definitely good stability. We need that. You only have the 1 district, so that was pretty quick to build. An only era-specific one. And saltpeter mine. 17 food's pretty good. We'll do the food one then. Slaves. Yeah, we're not doing slaves. Don't need slaves. Got a builder star. Claim that wonder, which we definitely want to do. Show unclaimed wonders. We want you 100% production towards shared projects. So recommending I build it there. Not saying it's wrong. Let's go ahead and build it there. And then arguably, we don't... That's something to do from our infrastructure, which we don't necessarily need right now. I don't have anything specific we need to. So let's accelerate the construction of the Wonder. Okay, I come bearing steam. An adventure engineer ostracized from her own country on account of her religion has come to offering her scientific expertise. She wishes to settle in the city of Harappa, where she believes she could work productively. Her pioneering work on the fundamentals of engines could be vital, but the fact that she is not a follower of our religion could make things difficult. What do you say to her? Do I reject her? Move us towards geopolitical. We can use her, move us towards individualism. Or we can naturalize them, which forces open-minded. We lose religious hostility. Which would bring us in alignment with everyone else, so that's maybe not the worst of choices. And we get basically 200 science. Or can pay money to get 200 science without having to... Yeah, we'll do use. We'll use them. We're not going to nationalize them. We're not that open-minded, apparently.
30 makers' quarters? To call this empire industrious is to call the sun tepid.
Okay, someone has declared war on us, so we do be fighting a war. Can I upgrade my boats? We can upgrade the boats. Okay, how do I want to wage this conflict? Okay, so I'm probably thinking about I need to get an army together, otherwise we're going to be on the defensive here for this war. We do have arquebusiers, which can move or attack, so they're not actually that bad for a defensive unit if we want to stand up a bunch of troops. Oh, I think we've only got 5 of the saltpeter we need for this unit. Which would make it more expensive, although that's maybe not enough to stop us from mass building it. Oh, the manufactorium is also a plus to the saltpeter deposit. So musketeers are the better version of you. 4 move, 4 attack, 40 strength, 47 attack, 4 move, 4 attack, and both move or attack. Now, that's the nice thing about our elephants here, is they are move and fire. Although they are technically, I think, considered a cavalry unit, so they probably can't enter cities. Can't enter walled settlements. Of course, the way to check that is find the cavalry units. Heavy cavalry unable to climb fortifications. Does it say that on our cannons? Cannon-mounted elephants? No. Implying that we might be able to do that with the elephants. Okay. I think because we're at war, we're gonna rush for our era unit. So we can get a formidable defense slash a counterattack.
Eyes on the way.
We get the war support.
15 farmers' quarters? Perhaps you're inviting several thousand friends to dinner.
We may be inviting several thousand friends to dinner. Potentially enemies, because apparently our friends are not very friendly. Okay, quickly rush the Wonder down.
Topkapi has been built, rebuilt, and renamed any number of times. It is a testament to stamina and survivability.
Get to pick next religion. Raise monuments! +1 science per state religion follower if the empire is the religious leader. +1 science per state religious follower if the empire is not. Oh. In the religion or in the empire if you're... Okay. Sustain the faithful, which is influence, money, or combat strength. +2 combat strength is probably real strong. Although it doesn't scale with the number of followers, whereas raising monuments here would be a bunch of science. And arguably, it might almost be enough to want to stay our religion and not go secular at the end game. We're going to go with science. Or I'm going to go with science. Okay, we built our saltpeter. How much saltpeter do I have? I have 5 saltpeter. So yeah, when we get our unique unit, we are going to have a saltpeter shortage, so it's going to be a little bit more expensive than normal. At least initially. What's our army size? Army size is up to 6. So you're 36. Raiders Ardor. Each enemy unit destroyed in battle increases the unit's combat strength bonus. Lasts until the battle is over or until destroyed. Okay. Probably get some gunners and then go on the offensive. Or maybe threaten to go on the offensive with this army. Couple gunners. Over here, I suppose again we could rally more troops. Right now the current up-to-date troop is these guys. Question is, do I want to wait 5 turns? I could wait 5 turns. Actually, that's maybe the thing to do. We're going to grab those 2 troops so we can bring that army up, this army up to strength, because I think we're going to try to poke across the strait here. Oh, and this city's already walled, apparently. The previous predecessors here built walls. That's all the wall tech I got. You're fairly secure there, and you already have walls, so I don't need to have you build walls. Again, I think we'll grab the 2 gunners to back up the 4 guys we've got here. Then here we're building walls because we don't have walls. Here we're going to build walls because I'm pretty sure I don't got walls. The places I built don't have walls. The places we've taken over have walls. City is starving.
Death from starvation. It seems that these are the times that try a people's dietary habits.
I can see why that's happening, yeah. How much food are you actually short? 41 food. That might be a bit hard to fix. Where's our best food tile? 25 food. That's not going to fix it. Although, that would allow the worker to work. Yeah, that's not going to fix it. The other solution is to lower the food upkeep, which I think is the way we're going to go. If this increments first, and it might not, I think we'll be fine on food. We're going to grab those 2 units, get that garrison filled back up.
All together
Oh, and you have a food deficit. Huh. Well, the easiest short-term solution to the food deficit is to actually build troops, I think. Because that pulls the population out of the city and makes them to troops. Although, troops themselves have a food upkeep that gets divided across the whole city, so that might actually be why the food upkeep's negative on some of these cities. Although we can about fix you by moving people off of money to food. Using the roads, how quickly can I get you down here? Reasonably quickly. Not as quick as I'd like, but reasonably quickly. We'll leave you in the fortification for the moment. Idle City. You're otherwise fine. Don't think we want to be rushing quite to the next army yet. Could do Parade for XP. So it's going to take 2 turns to build. That'll provide 20% XP on units. So sure, I think we'll do that. Okay, you're barely food positive, although you're still going to grow. We'd rather science and industry over money for the moment. And you just have lots of buildings to build. Oh, you have horses and saltpeter. So we get 7 from there, 5 from there. Got no rivers. 3 from there. Okay, let's grab the industry buildings here. Boost your industry up. And then you just built troops. You actually need more food, so put some people in food, put some people in industry, put some people in science, away from money. I suppose we can start doing some of these money ones. Yeah, and the influence one. And I think this is where we're going to go ahead and put the part break in for this part. War doth come to us. I think we've got, at least from defensive position, numerical advantage. So we should be able to throw these guys back into the sea pretty quickly. They're not that much stronger than us. So they start something while we're on the fortifications. We'll be able to run the second group in, and it'll be 12v7 with rough quality parity. We're delaying right now going on the offensive until we get our Mongol elephants, cannon-mounted elephants here. I think will be good for the attack. Probably try to take the islands back from them, or take the islands from them. Not necessarily invade their mainland. That's what I think we'll try to do. So if you're watching on YouTube, there will be another part up tomorrow. We'll see if we can close the fame gap between the two of us. We have slightly closed it. It was as wide as about 4K earlier, and it's now down to about 3K. But we need to keep it shrinking and not growing. If you're watching on Twitch, this is going to be the midstream tea break. I will be back to record the next bit as soon as a new cup of tea is brewed. So until the next part, I'm going to wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.